Hydration, fascia, and energy. If you've been feeling stiff, heavy, low energy, or like your body isn't moving the way it used to, this might not be a strength problem, it might be a hydration problem. And I don't just mean drinking more water. Today I want to talk about fascia, the connective tissue system that wraps around and runs through every muscle, bone, nerve, and organ in your body. Fascia is a living, intelligent network. It transmits force, it transmits information, and it relies on hydration to do both well. Think of fascia like a three-dimensional web underneath your skin. When it's well hydrated, it's elastic. It glides, it rebounds, it distributes force smoothly. When you walk, lift, reach, or turn your head, that's efficiency. When you step, the force travels through the fascial system. When you swing your arm, that force doesn't just stay in your shoulder, it transmits through your entire body. A healthy fascial system allows that force to be absorbed, transferred, and returned like a spring. But fascia also conducts bioelectric signals. Your body is electrical. Every movement, every heartbeat, every thought involves electrical signaling. Fascia is part of that communication network. It helps transmit mechanical force and electrical information throughout the body. Now here's the key. Fascia is highly dependent on water. It isn't just tissue, it's a hydrated gel-like matrix. When that matrix is well hydrated, nutrients move in, oxygen moves in, waste products move out. Waste products move out. Electrical and mechanical signals travel efficiently. But when hydration decreases, the gel becomes more viscous, more sticky, and more dense. Instead of layers gliding, they begin to drag. Instead of force transmitting smoothly, it gets dampened or stuck. Instead of electrical communication flowing, it becomes less efficient. And this is where we start to feel it. Chronic tension, inflammation, stiffness in the morning, that tight feeling that stretching never quite fixes. Lower energy levels. Chronic tension, inflammation, stiffness in the morning, and that tight feeling that stretching never quite fixes, and lower energy levels. Because when tissues aren't exchanging nutrients, oxygen, and waste, effectively, inflammation increases. When communication slows, movement becomes guarded. When movement becomes guarded, circulation decreases further. It becomes a loop. Now here's the part most people miss. Hydration does not come from drinking water alone. Yes, water intake matters, but fascia is not a passive sponge. It responds to load, to movement, to breath, to gentle mechanical stimulation. Movement acts like a pump. When you move through varied ranges, you create pressure changes inside the tissue. That pressure change pulls fluid in and pushes waste out. Breathing does the same thing. Slow, expansive breathing creates rhythmical pressure. Slow, expansive breathing creates rhythmical pressure shifts through the thoracic and abdominal cavities. That pressure movement helps circulate fluid through That pressure movement helps circulate fluid through the fascial layers, and myofascial release And myofascial release, gentle, sustained pressure allows the tissue to reorganize and rehydrate. It gives stuck areas the time and signal they need to soften and restore glide. Hydration is dynamic. You don't hydrate fascia by just chugging. You don't hydrate fascia by chugging a bottle of water. You hydrate by moving, breathing, and releasing. You'll know when you're hydrated. You'll know when you're hydrated. You feel elastic. Your movements feel lighter. You rebound when you walk instead of feeling heavy through the joints. Your energy feels steadier. You don't wake up feeling compressed. When fascia is hydrated, force transmission improves. Communication improves. Nutrient exchange improves. Inflammation decreases and tension softens. Your energy returns. So if you've been stretching and stretching but still feel tight, consider this. It may not be about the length of the tissue. It may be about hydration and glide. Start with gentle movement, add slow, intentional breathing, incorporate myofascial release, not aggressively, but patiently. Your body doesn't need to be forced into change. It needs the right environment. Hydrated tissue is adaptable tissue. Hydrated tissue is adaptable tissue. And adaptable tissue is resilient tissue. That's what we work towards here at Gentle Myofascial Release, restoring elasticity, communication, that's what I'm all about here at Gentle Myofascial Release. Restoring elasticity, communication, and energy by restoring hydration from the inside out. When your fascia is hydrated, your whole system feels different. Light, elastic, and alive.